Hi there, today this is my review of the Boker Vox Rolled. The reason I'm talking to you like this will soon become apparent. Probably is from the title of the video actually. I'll put some footage over the top of me I guess. The Boker Vox Rolled, I ordered it because I wanted that gap between a small sort of Falcon Even F1 or more size knife and the large chopper / axe, kind of the knife that you just take one of if you just want to bring one knife and maybe a folder or something like that. So I looked at a few. I looked at the SE6, just a little bit expensive. It was about $240 for the one that I wanted. I looked at the Rat 7, which there was going for about $150 by the time I bought the Rolled. But I thought, you know what, I'll get something in semi-stainless because I don't mind. I do a fair bit of water-based stuff, so I figure I'll order the Boker Vox Rolled. It's in D2. I know it's not a stainless steel, but a little bit more corrosion resistance. I just like the look of it a bit more. I'd seen some good hard use videos of it, so I thought it's been tested, should be alright. So it came. The Boker comes in a really nice presentation box. It's a sort of a magnetic flip open deal. It's all nicely presented to you. And this is crazy because the way I thought this was going to go was the first part of my review was going to be really negative because it comes with a horrible sheath. And a horrible sheath clip that is just really, really frustrating to attach to the sheath. Really fiddly little bolts and stuff. It's not done for you. They sort of send it presented rather than send it assembled, so I'd rather assemble it myself. The sheath's made of like a Kydex-y plastic sort of stuff, and it just sucks. There's a huge amount of rattle in it. I'll just roll some footage of me fiddling with the sheath. Once it's in a little bit, it is just shit. Plus the hellish process of affixing this. It's way too high when you're wearing it sort of standard vertical style like that. It's like it literally pokes you in the heart. So you're gonna have to wear it scout style. So when you're wearing it scout style, unless you want to be hearing this every time you walk around, you need to kind of pull it out and press it against, just so there's some pressure against that point there. Just an update on the worst sheath in the world. I've pushed the knife too far in now, and it is literally not coming out. Fuck you, Boker, and your shitty sheath. Well, I'm going up to the shed. Alrighty, I had to put it in a vise and tug with two hands to get the knife out that time. It seems if you, where are we? It seems if you force the knife too far in, which you kind of feel like doing because it's a bit jiggly otherwise, it can really get stuck in there. And you can see on the knife, it's kind of bits of sheath are sort of just coming off inside, like bits of kind of shredded plastic. This is truly one of the worst things that I've ever had, this sheath. Alright, so the sheath was not winning me over. However, the general feel of the knife I was really happy with. I liked the handle. I thought the handle filled my hand really well. That's the main reason I got this one, because I don't like the slab handled knives. They're usually a bit blocky for me, and the Rat 7 just looked a little bit blocky, and the SE was a bit the same. So I got this one because I liked the look of the handle, and truly the handle is very comfortable in hand. It's got a nice finger choil. The blade, as I said, is D2. It's a full flat ground blade. It's about 3/16 of an inch thick, so not quite 1/4 of an inch, but it feels nice and thick and substantial. In fact, the knife felt very sturdy in my hand, and it did feel like a very sort of hard use piece of survival gear. So went out and started testing it. So let's see how that went, shall we? Well, that is a $180 lesson as to why perhaps D2 or just this knife is not a good impact steel. This is what's happened. I've got a relatively straight fresh wood log. This wood is not hard by any means. It's still very much alive. It's not particularly heavy. I was using a baton that was very light, so I wasn't using a giant heavy piece of wood. And pretty much instantly, a few whacks, I probably counted about 8 or 9 whacks, just getting the knife into this. I wasn't even going straight across the middle. I thought, you know what, I'll slice away. And there you go, Boker Vox rolled, catastrophic failure. No salvageability from this knife. What do you reckon? That's depressing, isn't it? You see my point. It's definitely going to do it. It's not going to break. Well, there you have it. Bit of tree sap there. Wow, that is disappointing, seeing as you can see on this channel me doing less with cheaper, with less prestigious knives. Gerber Strong Arm, for example, Falkniven F1, LT Wright. LT Wright's a quite expensive knife. LT Wright Genesis, Schrade SCHF knives, even some Mora knives, and yet this supposed, bush tool. A few strikes with a very light baton. Like that was a piece of dead wood. I actually was thinking as I was doing it, I should be using a heavier baton. It went into that wood, and the wood beat the steel, and that's not something that should happen. Especially not with this is D2's sort of marketed as a semi-stainless kind of best of both worlds tool steel, so it shouldn't shatter like that. Shouldn't shatter like that. So be warned. This one might have been a lemon, but this is what happened to mine. You all saw it. I know you can see Survival Lily using hers on frozen wood, things like that. So I don't know. It's just one drop in a bucket, I know. But you see nothing fancy. Use his out in the snow. His was fine. So I don't know. That hit. Yeah, that was just straight wood. I got going with the Schrade. Got a fair way in. It's just the Schrade's too short to be able to do it easily. But so this is the Boker's thing. I've just pulled out the other bit of steel. As you can see, that's where it was sitting. Yeah, I'll just go and split it and see what was inside that point, and just double check there wasn't some crazy diamond knot. But then I think they'll be pretty happy to chuck this one out. Nope, as I suspected, just straight, nice wood all the way down. The semblance of a knot was down here, but it's not even a big one. This just came straight apart when I put a Ontario SP5 onto it. So again, high carbon steel, maybe that's the key. Anyway, I can just certainly not recommend the Vox rolled for any type of impact outdoor use. So unless you're looking for a giant camp kitchen knife, yeah, I wouldn't even be happy to chop with this thing. So, back out of the shed now, I'm thinking about it. There's a few reasons the knife could have failed. Firstly, poor heat treat. I don't know. Secondly, D2 is just not a good outdoor steel. Like, it's not something that you're going to be using to chop or to process any sort of wood with. I know batoning is not, or battening through wood isn't something you should do every day. It shouldn't be a primary way, but I'm a tester, so I do test because that's what people like to see. And truly, cheaper, crappier knives, crappier knives have done way more work than what I put that through. So, don't know if it's that. The flat grind is something I'm sort of thinking about. There's a theory that flat ground knives just aren't good for wood processing. However, that serves me to a point because my large flat ground knife, the Ontario SP5, actually split through the log straight away after the failure. The shred, I tried it with the shred. I got the shred nice and deep in there just to show the shred wouldn't break, but the Ontario went nice and through it, no problems at all. So I don't know if it's that. Maybe our wood is too hard, perhaps. It was fresh though, and it just flew apart with the SP5. I really should have got that on camera. I just wanted to get it shown that it wasn't a knotty piece of wood, because it wasn't. Yeah, so a few options. I'm probably leaning towards perhaps it's D2, just not being a good hard use outdoor steel. So why make a knife out of it? I don't know. It's a shame that I didn't get any other type of testing done. Out of the box, the knife came pretty sharp. It had a sort of a semi-flat spot, or a not super sharp spot on the belly of the knife, but the flat part of the blade came very sharp. Did a bit of a paper slice test with that, and it was good. But yeah, the first bit of woodwork I got to, epic fail, so there you go. Boker Vox rolled. It's going to be hard to top that in terms of suckness throughout this year. So we'll see how we go.